Hello everybody, welcome to the weekly collective reading. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see you. Let's see if Apollo he is very much tuned in. Yes, buddy, you even cocked your head to the side, didn't you? Yes. We'll give him a little pat on the head. He's a very good boy. Hey, you knew we were talking about you, didn't you? Yes. All right, everybody, my name is Nicholas. Like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the energy for the week ahead. And there was so much coming through. The last few daily readings have been really intense. So I'm looking forward to today's topic, and I'm actually quite grateful that we chose cleaning up messes. Like, I'm all for esoteric and, aspirational stuff, but like day-to-day life can be messy. So the special topic for today is clean up the messes and make room for upgrades. And I think we can all get behind that. I know I can. So great choice, everybody. I like to begin everything with channeled messages. By the way, everybody's welcome here. If you do enjoy this, give me a like, subscribe if you're brand new, but let's get into those channeled messages first. So I wrote down a few things here as I was recalling dreams, and also even as I was waiting, I got some downloads. So this is super specific. Sometimes my hits are like very razor sharp. So one of the things that you want to pay attention to this week is recall, reading comprehension, recalling facts, and showing people that you're listening by following through on something. So I'll give you an everyday example. Let's say a family member or a loved one hints at something like, oh, I'd really like to have that as a gift. And you kind of tuck that away in your mental filing cabinet. And at the perfect time, birthday, graduation, holiday, you get them that gift. And they're like, oh, you were actually listening. Another example of this is if you meet someone, whether it's at work or in a social gathering, and you can remember the name, create a mnemonic device so that that sticks with you. The next time you see them, the level of them being impressed, you can't really put words behind it. The flip side is true though. If somebody's hoping that you recall some information and you don't, it's not like something that you can't recover from, but it's something that they were like, oh, you really weren't listening, were you? So let's not let that happen. If you really need to take note of something, I'm at the point now where I'm not afraid of saying, hold on a second, I want to, especially if it's work related, just say, give me a minute, I want to make sure that I put this in my to-do list. So capture it when it's happening. Just like I capture dreams when I wake up, or thoughts like right before the reading I was typing. Whenever it happens, it doesn't matter if it's convenient or not, capture it so that you can recall it later, okay? The other thing here, this is more for students, but it's a good thing. Let's say you miss something. Speaking of recall, you didn't do well on a test or something. There is a capacity for like extra credit if you ask, or doing something like going above and beyond and getting extra recognition, which will help maybe bump you one grade level or something. So make sure that from this point onward, you go above and beyond. It's not a lost cause is what I'm getting, and this is really true for everybody, okay? Very specific information. I hope that resonates for those that need to hear it. I also wrote down, and I believe that this was after meditation, but like safety first. So there's a lot of different things that this can relate to. One of them is just not rushing something. Like for instance, if we go to production of an item, a good or a service, you want to make sure that it's safe for consumption. But the other thing here is, I'm thinking of better safe than sorry. Erring on the conservative side, doing your research, and not taking unnecessary or uncalculated risks. Always making sure that you have explored all options before kind of like jumping head first. So the way that Spirit's showing me that is just like a pool that hasn't been filled with water, and you don't want to jump into an empty pool. So make sure that everything has been sorted and you know exactly what you're getting into. The more I talk this through, the more I think it's contractual, and there's like a loophole or something in the small details that really are important for you to look at, okay? As we were getting ready, there was more stuff that was coming through, and I got like a clear message from Spirit. And this is what I wrote. I said, you can reach the finish line as long as you remain neutral. This week provides a chance for you to showcase your ability to exhibit grace under fire. So neutrality, it's easier said than done, but what you can do when a stressful situation arises is breathe for a second and think, is it me? Is it the person? Or is it something else completely out of my control? That will tell me the degree to which I need to freak out or not freak out. And if you can just pause for a millisecond before using your mouth or letting the heat or the energy of the emotions somehow affect your action or your speech, you're going to benefit. So just taking that sigh, even though that's a little bit of a communication, it's good because it's going to give you a second to process. Give yourself time to process and don't sweat the small stuff. That was the last thing that Spirit had me type out. Like, don't sweat little things that doesn't matter. Like I said, there's always chance down the line for extra credit, for recovering, for saving face. It's more, actually, here's a thing. It's not who finishes first, it's how well you finish ultimately, and if you finish at all, because a lot of people give up along the way. So just keep doing your best. And I think I said this in the daily today or might have been for Monday actually. But if somebody has unrealistic expectations and you can't make them happy, that has so much more to do with them than sometimes you just can't make people happy, and that is what it is. And that helps you decide, this isn't it for me, okay? Alrighty. Welcome everyone. So what we're gonna do next, if you're new, we're gonna get into a 7-day forecast. Before we do that, if you enjoy what you see here, let's go ahead and try to give back, and I'm gonna set a goal right now while I'm talking. So if what I like to do for these goals sometimes is if we have a little bit of extra time, then whatever needs to come through, whether it's me maybe highlighting one of the special topics or something in the reading where I'm like, I'll come back to that, we'll kind of put a pin in it. So whatever needs to come through is what we're going to celebrate if we get that. And I actually did teal and higher, but if we can just get 30, that's fine. I forgot to just do anything. But anyway, I've set the goal. We're going to stop talking. We're going to look now at a 7-day forecast to help us navigate everything for this week ahead. And let's select a deck and begin. By the way, sorry, you had to see my arm as I was doing that. By the way, I will be hopefully now moving on Monday into a place that I've got for 3 months. And if I like it, I'll extend. I'm just waiting for final paperwork and all that to be sort of like sorted out here, but I found a place where hopefully I can get into a more regular schedule. I'm staying with a friend right now and they're amazing, but this isn't my place. So I want to make sure that ultimately I'm able to focus and do work in a way that's more consistent. Okay. Oh, we have a card over here that I forgot to shuffle in. All right. Take a moment now, close your eyes, and let's welcome in angels, guides, and ascended masters. What I like to do is to imagine ourselves like in a circle of light. In that circle of light, you are connected and protected. All right. So we're going to look at 7 days. Let me get everything set up so we can see it. There we go. All right. And we're going to begin with the energy of this Sunday first. And don't be afraid to ask. That's the very first thing that we're seeing here. We have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse position. And sometimes we just have to say, I want this. Or I'm interested in you. So if you see someone and you want to spark up a conversation for work, for business, for love, don't be afraid to make the first move. Tomorrow's card is the Two of Pentacles. I know it because I did it this morning. And I mentioned with the Two of Pentacles, there are choices that have to be made. With this one, she's picking. And it's not always easy to say, I choose this, but I also, in choosing this, am going to say no to this. So figure out what you want, figure out what you don't want. I channeled something that I really love, but saying no can be the ultimate act of self-preservation. I think that's what came out in Monday's daily, and I think that's so powerful. It's not just like no is a full sentence or no is a powerful thing. No, actually no can be self-preservation, because you know when you need to decline something, when you need to say no. And if you have that inner knowing, don't be afraid to follow through. And if something's just a little bit unrealistic, ask for more. I want this too, but I need more time, or I need more support, or I need more information. Something's lacking when the Page of Pentacles is in reverse. There could also be someone around you that wants and wants and wants. And it's important for you to create a limit and say, this is all I can do. This is going to have to be enough, right? It's not always easy, but practice makes perfect when it comes to articulating wants, needs, desires, or things that might be missing as well, and boundaries, of course. Ultimately, we're communicating things of value and communicating resources. Keep your eye on the prize. That's what she's doing here. If you get distracted, that takes your attention away and it makes things harder to do, okay? And you might have a new idea, but what are you doing to follow through on it? These are the questions. It's coming through today, Sunday, but it's helping you for Monday because Monday was the Two of Pentacles. So today is the day to reflect. Monday is the day to create the action, okay? Speaking of Monday, let's see what's coming through for Monday. And lo and behold, we have an Ace of Pentacles. So thematically, it's all coming through. Communication of what you want or identification of what you want. And now we're staying in the realm of Pentacles. We have Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Same sort of thing, but this time you're reaching for it. Today you're saying it or you're writing it or you're thinking about it. And then on Monday, you're reaching for it. Or you're tossing something back because we had the Two of Pentacles for the daily that I saw ahead of time. So we're getting ahead of that. We're already changing the energy, alchemizing energy of Monday. I want this, I don't want this. You could also decide you're finished with something. So aces, as you see here, usually have a hand and a coin. That hand can be delivering, that hand can be receiving, that hand can be reaching for and taking something. You decide which of these activities you want to do. But with the reversal, it's usually handing or grabbing for something, not necessarily something coming your way. So it's important to calibrate and communicate with respect to that. Get a handle on your money. We have multiple cards coming through and your schedule. What are you doing with your valuable resources, the most valuable being your time, but also your money and your energy? This is a day to decide, do I want it or don't I want it? And that's it. It's an ace. You can do whatever you want with an ace, but we see the energy of possibilities there, okay? So now let's see what's coming through for Tuesday. We have the Six of Cups, which is a fortuitous card. Six of Cups is in the reverse position. And when it's reversed, it can represent a few things. First of all, there could be someone coming back from the past. You thought that the business was done, but there's unfinished business. There could also be, you may decide like, I don't want to spend any more time or energy on love, relationships, whatever. And as soon as you do that, the universe has someone knocking at the door. So Six of Cups is kind of playful though. It could be a flirting glance. It could be an invitation for friendship. It could be an invitation for a party. There's something fun about it. Just decide, is this a good use of my time since the previous two cards were about investments? So is it wise? Will this pan out, etc.? You may decide to spend a little bit more time with friends, with family, with children in your life. And again, let the inner child out to play. This card has made an appearance in a daily recently, and that was one of the things that I mentioned, is that the adult child still wants to have fun just like the inner child. So let's make sure that you incentivize things. This is especially true in business. So on Tuesday, if you want to get something done, set up the rewards for it. Say, here's the goal, here's the payoff, let's do it. And try to make the experience a little bit more fun in the process. But it's a great day for meetings, friendship, love, connections. We don't have to overcomplicate the Six of Cups. This question comes up a lot, and it's interesting because if we look at the spread, it's pretty even. So we have a few reversals, we have a few upright, and actually we have more upright than we have reversed. And invariably, people in the comments are always so fixated on the reversals. Why do all of yours come up reversed? They don't. It's usually like we see here, half and half. What I find interesting is that people only fixate on the reversals. What reversals help us see in tarot, just Tarot 101, is, are we distracted? Are we maybe missing something? Is this something that's more about you or something about someone else? It's just context. It doesn't make the card bad or good. It can sometimes make the energy more palatable. A Ten of Swords, Devil, or Tower reversed is a lot easier than the upright versions. So sometimes you want it reversed. So let's just fixate on messages. But I thought I would address it because I see it probably 5 times a week. Someone is asking, why is this reversed? Why is the sky blue some days and gray the other? It's because it is. So let's just focus on the message around it, folks. I like to sometimes go on a rant because I'm like, it's not important. It is, but it isn't. So let's focus on the messages. All right, back to the middle of the week. We have the 10 of Wands. This is for Wednesday. Moving something forward to the finish line potentially. With the 10 of Wands in the upright position, it's that very last step that can be the most difficult. Encouragement from Spirit here is just to get it finished. Also, I love that we have a dog on this because loyalty is key. If you make a promise, keep the promise. Follow through on the commitment, right? Also, I feel like someone might be making you do unnecessary, like it's kind of like playing fetch. Do this, do that, etc. Make sure that you're getting an understanding of why am I doing this again? What's going on with this? Is this needed or am I just running errands? Travel may be necessary on Wednesday. Take care of yourself. Prepare for inclement weather. Usually you don't see rain in the 10 of Wands, but pack an umbrella or just allow some extra time in case there's traffic. But otherwise, the 10 of Wands represents completion, a little bit of fatigue, so pace yourself, but ultimately a very good card because look at how far you've come. Celebrate that progress and basically finish what you said you were going to finish. Let me take a drink and then we're going to take a look at the energy of Thursday next. Okay, where did I put my drink? It's over here. Okay, I can already see we've got the Queen of Wands in the reverse position. All right. One of the most agile and very sort of like amazing boss cards, but when it's in the reverse position, the Queen of Wands can worry too much. She can think too much. She can miss something. So don't get distracted. Don't get in your head too much. Stay open to new ways of working and doing things, and you should be fine. There might also be someone in your life that's too bossy. So flexibility is a key tenet of the Queen of Wands because she should be imaginative. She should be able to see past some sort of rigid way of doing it. I love that any good Queen of Wands has the black cat, which is intuition. It has the wand, which is magic. And in the traditional deck, she's in the desert, but things are growing around her. She can make it work. Wasn't that a line from like Tim Gunn used to say, make it work? So if things seem impossible, you're going to figure out a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, but you have to believe it. So believe that you can do it, and lo and behold, you will do it. Avoid people in your life that tend to be know-it-alls, overly bossy, overly closed down. It's not going to be the way to get things done. I love what we see at the end of the week. Hummingbirds for me are super auspicious. They represent kind of like miraculous energy. So here we have the Ace of Cups, Hummingbird taking a moment to drink it all in. So this could be good news, love, friendship, creative download, just creativity welling up. But the other thing here is receptivity on both sides. You're a little bit more receptive to what the universe is bringing forth, and other people are too. Don't be afraid to put your heart forward on Friday. It's a perfect day for a date, for having tea with a friend, for sharing something that you're passionate about. The Ace of Cups is really encouraging you to lean into that and have some fun on Friday. Set something into motion. You're being set up for success, okay? Really, that's one of the magical cards for this week. All right, so now let's take a look at what's coming through for Saturday. We have the Knight of Wands. Knights are good. They move things forward. They fight for the good fight. They have a way of opening things up. So I feel like if there were any intuitive, creative, or energetic blocks by the time Saturday comes along, they're broken down. They're much better. And the other thing here is really, okay, so I think I said was it also in tomorrow's? Life is too short, too finite to just clock it in, to kind of like phone it in. So this is about following your passion. When you're passionate, you're more effective, you're happier, things just work easier. So whatever your passion project is, Saturday is the day to connect with it. Get out there in the world, send things into motion, click send, make things happen. This is your day for all of that. There also could be a fire sign marching into your life, wanting a little bit of time, energy, or attention, and it looks good. And then as we take a look at a week from today, it's amazing actually. We have the Eight of Wands in the upright position. So Next Sunday, busy energy, productive energy, but also collaborative energy. We don't see people typically in this card, but how do you think all those wands get into motion? Take a moment to recognize people, to engage with people, and to make sure that you're collaborating and not sort of spinning your wheels. Overall, folks, I like this week. Let's review some of the highlights, some of the challenges, and then we'll go on to the next section. All right, so what are the most challenging days? I actually think today and tomorrow, because it's about prioritization, and prioritization is very rarely fun, but it's also very, very necessary. So getting your priorities in order today and tomorrow are the key challenges. And then maybe just working, if there's someone in your life that just tends to be a little bossy or a little closed-minded, Thursday could be challenging. The rest of the week is great. I actually think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's like a trifecta of amazing energy. So it's a great week ahead, folks. Don't sweat the small stuff, just like Spirit said, okay? Now we're going to move on to the next portion of this wonderful weekend reading. This is the elements where we look at fire, earth, air, and water. All right, let me go ahead and clear the cards, and we'll choose a different deck for this. Maybe the unicorn deck, and let's see what's coming through for the elements. All right, fire, earth, air, and water. All right, let's begin with the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups in the reverse position. This Seven of Cups, we see all of them right over this sort of magician's head, and he's trying to set them into order, trying to get something that's chaotic to make sense. While I'm interpreting this, I also want to look at the traditional one. Okay, so here's what you can focus on this week. Ask questions if something is vague. Sometimes we get just unclear instructions, or maybe someone doesn't know what they're talking about, and you have to highlight that and just say, do we have all the information? Or maybe we should take a step back and just clarify these points. Whatever you need to say, make sure that you get that cleared up before you move forward, because it's just like driving in the fog. If you don't know what's coming, you're more likely to have an accident or a collision. So literally in the traditional Seven of Cups, it's a little foggy. It's a little bit loosey-goosey. So what we really want to focus on with this is the ability to get clarity on what am I supposed to do, what's in front of me, etc. Now, the fun part of it, it's a blue sky card, and that's why I wanted to get the traditional one. Brainstorming, asking the difficult questions. So this is one of the reasons I didn't kind of make it in traditional a religion, the one that I was born into. I asked too many questions. I'm like, well, why would that happen? Or why would this happen? And I realized, okay, this isn't for me, because none of it made sense. So, and just having faith isn't good if things are actually just illogical. So I realized I'm more cosmically spiritual, because they didn't want to answer my questions. And if you're, that's actually a really good signal. If people are afraid of questions, that speaks more to sort of their inability to look at whatever it is they're holding near and dear. It should pass that question test. So if there's something in front of you and you ask questions about it and someone dodges the questions, pushes back on them, or avoids them altogether, blinking red light. Something's wrong there. Go in another direction, okay? It is a great day to look at new avenues, or a great week, I should say, to look at new avenues, new opportunities. So researching, daydreaming, questioning, exploring. It may be challenging to land on a decision, thus the reversal. It may be a little bit challenging to organize things, in which case maybe you work with someone else, like this guy who's pulling it all together into a magical sort of order. So know your limits. Trust those questions that you have. They're coming through for a reason. Allow yourself to daydream and explore the options, and you'll be fine. There's a lot going on this week, so each day you may also need a little bit of time to check in and get your priorities straight, okay? Overall, fire, I think you got this, so let's go ahead and move on from fire to earth, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right, you have the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. Now, upright, it's a very fast-moving card. Reversed, not so much. Or there's an encouragement from Spirit not to go so fast. And that's why we like reversals. pumping the brakes, looking around. It's kind of like also if you're just crossing the street, you look at the light, you may have the green walk sign, but if some distracted person is going through the red light, it still behooves you to look left and right before you cross. So pause and at least make sure everyone else is following the rules and then move forward. This can also be a questioning card. I'm pausing and I'm inquiring. Why this, why that? Very similar, actually. Fire and earth have some similar energies, but but earth is just going to speak up and say, I don't agree with this, or we need this, or they're going to task it to someone. Say, I need you to come back to me by X amount of time with this, okay? Slow down. Don't let people rush you. Don't rush other people. Don't rush something to the finish line if it's not done. Slow and steady. You can make up for lost time later, okay? Word travels quickly. Don't say something until you're certain, because it's kind of like when you send a global email to one of those distribution lists and you just meant to send it to one person. The minute you say something, it can get out to the masses. So make sure that you're sure before you say something. Mind your words, slow down, look in all directions. You can avoid one of these potential conflicts as long as you slow down the communication and action. So it's all coming together, but slow and steady. Okay, let's move on to the air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Another reversal here, Queen of Cups in reverse. Some of you are dealing with a lot of emotions. A reverse Queen of Cups is saying, don't let your heavy emotions color, warp, or sort of like affect your decision-making ability. Emotions are good. Feelings are good. Feel through them first. You never want to make a decision on the best or worst of days, because the euphoria or the sadness, depression, fear, etc., pull you too far away from what? Neutral, which we talked about. So I believe that the air signs are the most benefiting of that initial message, which was stay neutral and you can do anything you need to do. You might need to talk through things. If you've been carrying a lot in your heart or energetically, talk it out. Exercise, work it out. Get some sleep. There are a lot of different ways to allow things to process, but process, then move forward. Common theme here this week. Getting organized and moving forward, slowing down and looking, going whatever's going on around you, and then moving forward. And in this one, it's about the messiness here is actually in the emotions. Something's too new, too fresh, too raw to be able to act quickly. There's no deadline except the one that you're imposing on yourself. Let's move to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all the water signs. You have an Ace of Swords, the soul card in the elemental forecast that's upright, showing that you're very aligned, that it's okay to move forward, that it's valuable, if not essential, to speak up, that when you start to allow yourself to be seen, be heard, and take action, great things happen. I love the unicorn is in this card, also showing that what makes you unique makes you powerful. We don't need homogeny. We don't need things to blend in. We need something a little bit different. You might be asked to sign on the dotted line to make a decision, like an impromptu decision, and whatever your first inclination is probably closest to what you need to do. Take some time this week and get ready, just in case one of those decisions happens. I really think you're set up for success ultimately, okay? Speaking of writing, it's a good time to get things down on paper and write them out. All right, let's get ready now for today's special topic. The special topic, again, is probably one of my favorites. We've never done this. I don't think I've ever typed out this one, and I kind of thought, oh, they're not going to choose it probably. I'm so glad you did. So cleaning up the messes so we can make room for something better, an upgrade, whatever. And I did put a little poll here in real time. I'm like, what's the messiest thing for you? And we have the whole gamut right now. So I'll keep an eye on that as we're moving through this. While I'm doing that, I think I have one last round of gifted memberships that I can gift to everyone. So there you go. Enjoy. I'm going to get everything set up here, and then we're going to get into this topic. Okay. Good to see everyone. I'm finally sort of acclimated to Central European time. First couple weeks were rough, but I'm getting better. Okay. I just want to see where the collective is at. So I feel like on this, I really want to do a full Celtic. And then we'll look at the expanded forecast when it's time to do the expanded forecast. Plus, there's not a lot of room on here, so I'll just separate that out. I still don't have I have another light, which is good, so things look better. It'll probably be another month or so before my other camera's set up. So we're just being flexible. We're having fun with the sort of less sort of regimented setup. I like the ability to kind of be wherever I need to be. So thank you for being patient as I'm getting set up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin with a catalyst card. The catalyst, of course, is connecting you to the next action you need to be taking, or maybe that you need to be avoiding. So since we're looking at messy things, one of the messes this month is relationships. So we have the 10 of Cups. It's in the reverse position. We love 10 of Cups. I'll pull some traditional interpretations for this as we're talking, just because these decks I love, but some of them are very different. So the 10 of Cups, closest friends, closest family. Sometimes they want the best for us, but they want us to vicariously fulfill their dreams, their goals, because they think that will make us happy. So a lot of times it is your parent, your friend, someone around you that just knows you very well, but they put that pressure on you. And you don't have to give in. You don't have to do it. And if you've already promised, you can always backtrack and say, I know I said I was going to do this, but I don't want to. You want me to, but I don't want to. Whether it's where you're going to school, whom you're going to date or marry, where you're going to live, what you're going to do for a living, it's your choice. And so sometimes, even when whether we're 15, 55, or 105, we're still trying to make people happy. And this is about not people pleasing so much. Knowing that when you are loved, you are seen, and when people see you, they don't force you into a box. When they put conditions on the love, then that's when there's a little bit of a red flag. So there's that piece that comes through for the catalyst, and that's one of the messy things. There could just be friendship or love that is not what people thought it would be. So we have a little mermaid and merman in this particular illustration, and what's around them is their chosen family. As you get older, your close friends sometimes end up being a lot stronger and a lot more important than your actual blood relatives. So focus on the people that feel like family, whether or not they're blood, and make choices that are right for you, and know that the people that love you unconditionally and see you for who you are, those are actually your family. Family's a word that it extends beyond birth, blood, and lineage. It's much deeper, it's much broader. So we're expanding the bounds of family to include people that embrace us for the inner mermaid and merman that we truly are. And we're not letting their emotions, their trauma, their drama, this is now looking at more at ancestral stuff, weigh us down. There's only so much you need or you can heal from that, so be mindful, okay? Let me take another drink, and then we're going to look at the center card, which is probably your biggest opportunity right now. Let's see if it's messy, or let's see if it's good. It's good. So your opportunity, as long as you don't get distracted by other things right now, is progress here. Mastery, the 3 of Pentacles. So we have some parrots and this woman creating something together. Teamwork makes the dream work. This is a card also that reminds you that when you truly say, I'm going to do this, not that I want to do this, but I'm going to do this, that you said it. It's written, it's going to be done, the stars align. So, like Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. I'd love for you to commit to a single goal this week. This is going to help you clean up messes and get organized. If there is any homework that you need to do, please do the homework. Focus on what matters, and you can work smarter, better, and more effectively with a team this week, okay? Get things into writing, a plan, an organizer. You know, when I was a kid, I was even more organized than I am now. Also, like when I was in college, I found some old files on one of my old archive drives. I was like, gosh, I was so organized, so organized. As you get older, you're like, eh. But this is a moment to kind of get back into, almost pretend like you're in school for a second and get really organized, because it's easier to find stuff. You can make better decisions, and like attracts like. So you're more likely to attract opportunities, people, and energies that are less chaotic. So take that if you will. All right, crossing this card is Six of Pentacles, which is choices. So this is your key to success. We saw that you're already primed for success, but you have to make good choices. Balancing things out. There's not enough tea maybe for both these to be full cups, but if we fill it up halfway, there's going to be enough. Also, there are people that will absolutely always be asking for more, and your discernment is what's going to allow you to make the biggest impact. So, you know how I said for tomorrow, being able to say no, it was like, what did I say? It was an act of self-preservation. But it's also a way that, think of charging your battery. There's like certain features on your laptop or phone where it's like only charge to this percentage and don't go beyond this percentage. We have to have those boundaries so that we don't under or overutilize our inner battery. So the big opportunity this week is the same thing. You don't want something to go below 20% because it damages the battery. And you usually want to keep it charged and topped off around 80 to 90, but not always sitting at 100. So it's the middle zone that's the best with batteries. It's kind of the same for humans. And so we have the Six of Pentacles, which is choices. You can get most of what you want done, but you can't do everything. You can't please everyone. This is a little bit more manageable than the Two of Pentacles, where it's just already too unreasonable. With this, you can also say not today, tomorrow. Not this, but this. Options. And that's a really good thing that you can do, is negotiate, barter, and present some options this week, which will help you out, okay? Smart choices. If you make smart choices, you're in a good place. All right, karmically, cosmically, what's coming through in the deep past? We have Ace of Pentacles, hello, hello. I know I got this for one of the elements. It's in the reverse position. Impatience. So I love that they show, we don't even see it here, but we know that an Ace of Pentacles can be, it's either a coin, an egg, or a seed usually. It's one of those symbols. So in this deck, it's like a seed that's been planted. When the card is reversed, we're hoping for Jack and the Beanstalk, something to grow overnight. But the reality of life is, you plant a seed of intention, you water it, you nurture it, you tend it, and it grows when it needs to grow. It takes time. So give things time to develop. Love, healing, opportunity, knowledge, because the center card was the Three of Pentacles. You have to just keep chipping away at it. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm getting to speak Spanish better. I learned it, I studied it before, but you have to practice it every day. You have to put it into daily rotation, and you have to be invested in it. So one thing that Spirit's asking you is, are you invested in your goal? Whatever it might be, getting better at a skill, healing yourself, finding love. What are you doing to grow that? And also just don't force it. It's not going to happen. One day, think of little kids, going back to language. All of a sudden, they start with phonemes, goo goo gaga, mama, dada, all that kind of stuff, just like parts of words. Then eventually they can get words, then eventually sentences, and then they put them together but poorly, and then one day they're just actually spouting things out. It starts slowly. So just like we accumulate the basics, put them together, one day the mastery sets in. It's really a good example because that's what this is, learning and applying. So you have to just ask yourself, am I invested and am I giving it time? And also, if I don't have as much time or energy as I need, what can I do to create it? Okay, now let's take a look at the recent past. We have the Fool coming through here. So with the Fool in the upright position, one step at a time, but also taking the first step, and also not bringing too much with you, because it's kind of like if someone only needs to pack for a 3-day trip, but they bring like 15 different outfits, like, what are we doing? Is this really necessary? So letting go of trying to have it all and just saying, I'm going to take it a step at a time, and whatever I need, sometimes along the way I can find it as well. Also, that's an energetic load that the Fool is carrying, not just actual accoutrements and stuff. So letting go of the old heavy emotions from the past and saying, this is new. as I've stepped into newness in my own life, one thing that one of my friends who's a shaman told me, which I love and I carry with me every day, is things that are new, things that are different, they don't have to be different or new with a good or bad label. They're just something we haven't experienced. So don't expect things to rinse and repeat. Allow them to just present themselves as what they are, and then just keep moving. Keep dancing the dance, okay? This Fool card is in the upright position, so you actually are in a good place here. Just keep moving forward. Don't stop. And then we start to see some momentum here as we look at the crowning card. Six of Swords, upright position. So as long as you continue to move forward, you're going to be okay. It might be necessary for some of you to, okay, so I mentioned in the daily for tomorrow, like busyness and boredom. You might be engaged with something that just isn't igniting your passion anymore. If that's the case, use the boredom to ignite your imagination. What else would I do if I could? What do I dream as like the best possible outcome? Or use that a little bit. I think that'll be really, really a good thing to connect to. It might be time for a trip, vacation, or a break. We are not like a computer or a machine. Even computers and machines need maintenance. They need downtime. So I think some of you are overdue for some downtime. And one of the messes that you can avoid is just sort of burnout. And if you take a day, an hour, a week, whatever you can create in your life, gosh, it's going to be so much better in the long run. You owe it to yourself. So try to find a place or a space in your life for a little bit of rest and recalibration. Okay, I see something really exciting with this triptych of cards. We have the Fool in the past, so taking a step. In the crowning position, we have Six of Swords. Significant move. So this is a step and this is like a leap. This is things actually taking shape and form. And now we have a reversed World card, which is expansion and a complete change of everything. And what you can interpret this World card reverse to be is things don't change until they do, and then when they do, sometimes overnight. So the Jack and the Beanstalk metaphor. You planted that seed, you were like, gosh, I wish this would grow, why isn't it growing? And then when you least expect it, everything is changing. Not only is it growing, but it's like pushing out like a supernova. So you're on the precipice of some major expansion. What's necessary now, if we go back to the kind of correlation of cards that we just saw, you want to think to yourself, I am invested in this. You take a step every day. You take breaks as needed. You never lose track of what you're trying to work on, and you don't overextend yourself. And before you know it, you're there. So one other way to look at this is it's almost as if for this Six of Swords, it's almost like you set it on autopilot and you keep working, you take a little break, you look up and you're at the destination. Something's going to happen faster than you think because all systems are moving forward. And we sometimes, it's kind of, okay, if you're older, you get this. I don't know why. I mean, I do. So when we're young, it seems like time drags because there's so much ahead and we have little control over the time that's in front of us. The older we get, there's much less time ahead and it's much more valuable, and we seem to just like, it seems to slip through your hands. So this is one of those things where I feel like because you've got so much going on, it's just going to go faster than you think. So one of the messes that you can avoid is missing something. That's why I was thinking back to like school when I had all these organizers. I knew all my homework and everything that's going on. I feel like it's really important to stay organized, and then you won't miss anything, but you will be surprised at the speed with which you complete tasks. So fasten your seatbelts, things are about to pick up, and you're going to be okay because you've tuned in today, okay? Okay. Don't sell yourself short. We have Four of Pentacles coming through for you. The padlocks on this card are limits. Sometimes the limits are self-imposed. I'm only worth this. I can't do this. Or they'll never pay me this or give me this or let me do this. How do you know? Especially if you think or speak like that. So instead, be wild with your thoughts and think, I want that. I have a chance of getting that. I'm gonna do that. Be more affirmative and get beyond the limit of this has to be because that's all I get. Those little padlocks were imposed by other people, other thoughts, outdated ways of thinking and speaking. So we're letting that go. Sometimes we hold on to things because they make us feel safe. The limits, the blocks, the little crutches in our life, we don't need them anymore, but we keep them because when you put yourself out there, it's scarier. So you can let go of something that isn't enough. This is ultimately part of today's special topic, making room for upgrades. This isn't sustainable. If it represents money or payment, it's not even break even. So it's like you're operating at a loss, or you're so exhausted that whatever you get, it's counterproductive because it's not sustainable. So it's time for an upgrade. It's time to release it. And okay, so anybody that lived in the 90s, whether you were young or old or whatever, there was a song by In Vogue, Never Gonna Get It. And that's what I'm getting in my head when I'm seeing the Four of Pentacles. And it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I'm going beyond the song, which was tongue-in-cheek, and I'm just saying, you don't need whatever's here, it's not enough, and whatever you think you can't get, you can, but you just have to commit and find new ways and paths to it. Otherwise, it's a broken record in your head, and we need to break that down. Okay. Because the breakdown is, and now it's time for a breakdown. So what we're doing is breaking down old ways of thinking. I do love my spirit guides. I feel like one of my guides was a DJ because they just sit there and play songs when I'm doing these readings. They're fun songs. It's a good album, a very, very good album, actually. Okay, in the environment, slow down and make sure that you're not getting literally carried away with things. So the Eight of Wands is a card of rapid motion and action and productivity, but I love this. Literally, you can get carried too far in a direction if the card is reversed. Because you lose track of why you're doing something, you can get wrapped up in the excitement that someone else has over a task and get pulled into their mess. Take a moment and make sure that you're looking at your internal GPS and that you're not getting carried away. Literally, that's what we see. Going to extremes or getting carried away. Okay? As we look at hopes, fears, and opportunities, we have the Page of Cups in the reverse position. So what I hear in my head is I don't want to, like a little kid, like throwing a tantrum. So we're going to listen to the little kid. There's a part of you this week where you don't want to do it. Maybe you should do it. Maybe it makes sense to do it, but you're not ready to do it. So you have to figure out why. Is it just the work? Is it that you don't want to admit that someone else was right? Or do you legitimately, on a heart and soul level, not desire this? If it is not something that you need, sometimes the little tantrum is there for a reason. But if it's something that's necessary, taxes, cleaning out the attic, whatever. Like sometimes we just have to do things that we don't want to do, and we tell the little tantrum kid in our head, I know, but let's just do this and then we can do that. So is it legitimately a warning, or is it just, I don't wanna? So depending on the level of I don't want to do it, you'll know how far to take this. The other thing here is discernment. So that little kid saying I don't want it can also be new friend, new love, new opportunity, and there's something about it where your soul is saying it's not a match. That's fine. Listen to that. That's powerful. Okay? But that's how Spirit conveyed it, was a tantrum. You may also have a little kid in your life that throws a tantrum, but that's how I saw it. Okay, and now we'll take a look at your outcome, which is good. Maybe it's even great here. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. It's in contrast to the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups was reversed, but the Ten of Pentacles is upright. So I mentioned with this that you'll find your tribe. It's not always your family. Some of you found your tribe, and here it is. This can come through in coworkers, peers, neighbors, people that you are involved with in extracurricular type, or even like volunteer type work. And there's common interests associated with this. I like that. Now let's just read it as the Ten of Pentacles, which is accomplishing the goal that you set out to accomplish. Achievement. That Three of Pentacles has grown all the way to the Ten of Pentacles. It's also marriage and contracts. And like the rings of a tree, slow and steady wins the race. It's a beautiful card. It's a great illustration. We also see the ability for you to do something that can help heal ancestral energies, but also set into motion positive wealth for future generations too. I see a generational shift, and this almost reminds me of like an epicenter. I know for anyone, by the way, that was involved with the earthquake that happened. There were a couple of earthquakes this week, actually. My heart goes out to anyone that's in any of those areas. I've seen the videos. It's intense. But this kind of reminds me of the epicenter. Taking it outside of the earthquake metaphor, one small change can have a ripple effect. So actually, one of the people that I'm staying with, I'm going to repeat this for the masses because it seemed useful for my friend. If you're feeling frustrated, because the world is kind of messy right now, isn't it? Speaking of messes, the climate isn't where it needs to be. Things that are going on socioeconomic and political levels, they're a little messy. We really don't get into that much on this channel. But there's a lot going on right now that's messy. So I was just taking a walk with one of my friends here, and I was talking to him about this because someone in his own life had a challenge with this. And I was like, well, here's my thoughts. And it helped him, it helped his friend. So I'm going to share it with you because it reminds me of this. The ripple effect is what this is. So I mentioned we can't change the world at like everything in the world, right? One person can't do that. But what I can do is I can affect my little sphere of influence. I can make a difference with my friends, my family, my neighbors, and the people here that tune into the channel. And that's my part on the planet. That's what I signed up to do. And I keep doing it every day. And if I keep doing it and I keep influencing and affecting and changing that little small pocket, each one of those people have the same sphere of influence ability. So if we all ripple out positivity, we actually can change the world. But I can't do it all alone. I need you, and you need others, and they need others, and we all need each other. And that's the thing that needs to shift on this planet because it's in a divisive place right now. You versus me, wrong versus right, black versus white. We got to stop it. It's like I love this Tracy Chapman album. I've talked about it before. It's called New Beginnings. And I think it's the title track. She's like, the whole world is broke. It ain't worth fixing. We need to start all over and make a new beginning. Make new language, make new symbols, and like start fresh. And I completely understand where she was going with that, like in the 90s, like 30 years ago. So that's my take on it, is each of us can ripple out like this. I'll help all of you, you help other people. We all keep paying it forward, and eventually we can create a wave of change. Grassroots energy. That's where it's at. So I shared that with my friend who shared it with his friend, and now I'm sharing it with you, and you can share it with a bunch of people. And we can get from this hopeless energy into an energy of hope. So I'll have to thank my friend because it actually helped me on today's reading, because I had to formulate that the other day. I'm like, how am I going to organize my thoughts to like download it to give it to him in a very brief way? So it was for all of us, and it was illustrated in that card. So all you have to do is your best and make a little impact with the people around you that matter the most. Keep doing that, and these little pockets of positivity will shift the energy forward. I hope that helps. It's messy, but if each of us clean up our messes, suddenly it gets a lot cleaner. But unfortunately, we're not in that sort of frame of mind, except for today, and that's why we show up every weekend, right? And yes, some people are bringing up that man in the mirror. You've got to start somewhere, okay? So this doesn't look too messy to me, but when we get into the next portion, the expanded forecast, I'm really going to fixate on messiness on this part. So I'm going to go ahead and change the decks here. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with the energy of health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. And we'll go from there. All right. All right, let's see. I hope that helps. I'm glad that I had a chance to talk about that to everybody. Okay. What's going on with health? We're going to do a past, present, future on this one because I want to see like what's been causing the messiness, what the mess or the state of the mess might be, and the solution. Okay. Health. What's the mess? Where is it coming from? The heightened emotions. So this is a card of extremes. So there are days and moments where things seem great. There are other days and moments where things seem abysmal or unmanageable or messy. And the thing with the Nine of Cups is we have to take the good, take the bad, and meet in the middle somewhere. So don't let the best or worst days ever make you think that that's how it's always going to be. Most of our life is spent climbing the hill or the denouement after that sort of high moment. And sometimes we have a higher low, a really punctuated higher low. But we get through them, and then we get back to the task at hand. You may need some help dealing with the intensity of emotions. Stress, fear, love, anxiety, whatever. Something is coming through, and it's like we need moderation. If you drink too much caffeine, you get jittery. If you drink too much alcohol, you're drunk. If you eat too much, you want to throw up. It's like we can't do anything to excess, so it's important to find a way to not overdo it. And that's the first thing that I'm seeing with health. Don't overwork, don't overstress, don't overthink. And sometimes we need an accountability partner to help us stay on the straight and narrow. What's going on right now? You're pushing yourself too hard. Seven of Wands in the reverse position. So what I see sometimes going on with health is from 0 to like the point where your car wants to explode, depending on if you're driving metric or whatever miles per hour, it doesn't matter. But if you slam the accelerator down and like blow the transmission, it doesn't make sense. If you haven't done something in a while, when you start to do something like exercising, you work slow, you work steady, you build up stamina, and then you're okay. And the same thing goes when you're changing habits. You can't just do something cold turkey. You really need time, guidance, and a plan. And it feels like you might just be trying to push yourself to this new level too quickly. So give yourself time to acclimate so that you don't blow the transmission. And what's the solution? Well, first of all, not comparing yourself to the old version of you or what other people around you are doing. So over my many moves, I had to part with a bunch of photos. I have some digital ones, and sometimes if I look back, I'm like, gosh, who is that person? You don't even recognize yourself when many, many decades take place. And sometimes it can make you sad. Sometimes it can make you happy. But one thing that I've learned is we're different. I can't be the same person that I was 10, much less 20 years ago. I'm going to do the best that I can in this version of my body, in this version of me, which carries with it a lot more wisdom, power, healing, strength, and potential than my younger version did. But the younger one could make a lot of mistakes and recalibrate faster. So don't compare yourself and forever look backward, because we're only on this planet for a certain amount of time. We don't have a lot of room for regret. Let's be impactful. Let's embrace this moment. Let's have some fun, folks. And let's not beat ourselves up. That's the big thing here. Don't beat yourself up too much. You're here. You're making better choices. And that's all that the higher version of yourself or the higher power or whatever's up there or out there or around us could hope for. And that's all you need to be focusing on, okay? And whatever your sister, your brother, your neighbor, your friend is doing that might be working for them, it may not work for you. You need to just focus on yourself, okay? And that's the message on cleaning up messes with your health. Okay, let's move on to wealth, and let's do the same thing. Okay. These are good. These are great even. Okay, but we're going to do our best here. So when we're looking at, and then I'll pull one for each category too, like I normally do. Okay, so for wealth, what is the mess? Well, it's a nuanced mess. The Empress card really sort of centers around control and ownership. So for some of you, it's sort of like, am I doing it for myself or am I doing it for my parents, my boss, my teacher, or the world? So we're really deciding who's driving the ship, which is the next card. So you're driving the ship. You no longer here's the reason it's so important to live your life for you. Not in a selfish way, but in an aligned way. You came here to do something. It took me, I don't know, 15, 20 years, 20, 25 years probably to figure out what that was for me. So for many of us, it's 1/4 of our potential lifespan. We're just ambling around trying to figure it out. But once you know, and you can get past this, which is the programming that we came in, mom, dad, society, teachers, that first operating system, you hit Control, Alt, Reboot, and then you start to create your OS, whatever your sort of new ways of thinking are. And it's time to evolve and upgrade. And it's not what used to work in the past, it's what works now for you. And some of the challenge here is this. And some of these folks are holding on too long. So the older generations are not allowing some of the younger generations to come through and innovate in the ways that they need to. So that, not all that, but there's some of that. So you're allowing yourself to just say, what worked before doesn't anymore. The old dreams don't always hold true. And I need to do something that's substantial for me. I got to take the reins and I need to move forward for myself. And that's really this moment. You're driving, you're steering, and you can go where you want to go. You might also need to fight for what it is that you want. The Chariot is a card of going to war, going to battle, fighting for or advocating for what's important for you. It's also a card that would come up in a legal battle or an intellectual property battle. So make sure when we're looking at things of ownership that you're taking care of all of that as well, okay? What's the solution? Well, if I can keep it on the table, the solution is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands here is connected to staying on path, on track. So not getting carried away, as we talked about before. So once you send things into motion, once you are clear on all of that, I really feel like things are going in the right direction, okay? So we're gonna do a single card for each of these subcategories and just kind of go quickly through it. So for those that are employed, show me how you can clean up the mess. Four of Pentacles. We talked at great length about the Four of Pentacles. You don't need to do something that is not giving back in a way that matters most. So sometimes Four of Pentacles reversed is a person in your life that is not forthcoming. They're not sharing the full picture. Or they're stingy. Think of the Ebenezer Scrooge example from A Christmas Carol. It doesn't matter whether you like holidays or not. It's a great story about, generosity. So sometimes there are people that are greedy, self-serving, and won't give, won't supply. And if you're working with for someone that just isn't giving back the way that they need to, even if you're getting paid, you're not feeling like you're a part of something, it's time for something more. Don't hold back on your gifts. Don't mute your light or your voice to please others. Don't hold back. Advocate for more. You're worth it. Entrepreneurs, what's the mess? What's the opportunity? Queen of Wands, reversed. You're trying to do, it's kind of in the title entrepreneur, but you're trying to do everything all the time, 24/7. Even when you're an entrepreneur, it's not possible to do it all the time. You're probably going to need either a break or some help. And so finding ways to work smarter, use technology to help you out, scale so that you can grow and you can do more, that's the main thing. You are not going to sustain as the sole person that touches every single thing soup to nuts. There has to be other people if this is going to grow and expand. Clarity in leadership is important. Keeping an open mind is important. And not running something where it's just my way or the highway. So there you go. Job seekers, let's see what's coming through so you can clean up your messes. making a decision. Some of you might already have an opportunity in front of you and you're asking yourself, Nicholas, can I do it? Yes. Should I do it? I can't make your mind up for you, but the Justice card is usually a card veering towards the affirmative. What you want to make sure, this is what I can advise you of, is that things are word perfect, letter perfect when it comes to the contract. Fight for your fair share. As long as it's fair, as long as you're happy, and as long as you understand the contract, go for it, okay? The Justice card is good, and it shows that there's a decision to be made. It's okay to say no. I love that we see both sides of the decision, but it does look like it's veering on the affirmative. Create better balance in your life, and make sure that this next thing that you're looking at really feels right for you, okay? Don't accept something that is less than, okay? Students, let's see what your message is. So specifically, how to clean up messes. Okay, don't get distracted. The Fool in the reverse position is sometimes, it's like there's 13 different things that you're trying to focus on. None of them are getting started. So like pick one thing and see it through to the finish line. It's just that. It's basically making sure that you're not overextended, that you do what you say you're going to do, that you don't walk away from something, you don't walk away even from an argument, just finish what you said you were going to finish. You may need to take a step back to get a big picture, but then follow through. So it's really about following through. The other thing here is if there's too many sort of like wishy-washy people, activities, commitments in your life, it's also stealing away some of your attention and energy. So stick to things that feel more solid, okay? And you have to decide if you're in or if you're out. The Fool in the reverse position is a little bit more on the outside. So you really just want to ask yourself why you're feeling what you're feeling and make sure that it's not fear. But if this is where the tantrum energy is coming through. If it's legitimately something that you don't want, that's okay. You can always say you don't want to do something. Pick what it is that you're most passionate about. I think that's where your power is going to be. Okay, retirees. Let's see what the mess is and how you can fix it. Okay, I love this actually. So for retirees, we have the Magician card. It's in the reverse position, but the Magician can do almost anything. And there might be someone in your life that's telling you because of age, whatever, like you can't do that. You absolutely can. There looks like you want to kind of like try something new, try something bold, try something different. This is a card connected with the I can or can do sort of energy. It's also intuitive development, psychic development, a new task skill, or maybe just deciding I want to learn something brand new. But you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, or if you let someone else's disbelief color your potential, then things start to go in the wrong direction, and we don't want that. Okay, let's look at love and relationships and see where the messes are. I'm just going to stick with this deck because it's perfect for this special topic. Absolutely. I always put retirees, I always put single people. We're all part of this experience. Doesn't matter where we're at. Okay, so we're looking at past, present, future for love. What's the mess? What's the opportunity? Etc., etc. So here's the mess. Here's where you're at. Here's how to solve it. Okay, interesting card to come through for relationships. So the Justice card has to do with there's two sides to every story. There's two sides to everything. And it's really trying to see each other, not in the light of right versus wrong, but why did you do this or how did this happen? Really understanding and truly seeing someone. Like, I see where this came from. I understand it now. But it also is about equity and fairness. So it doesn't have to be your romantic relationship. I'm reading broadly right now. So this could be a friendship. Is it even, Stephen? Is everything balanced, or is one party doing the lion's share? If that's the case, it might be time to reevaluate. You're also deciding if you want to move forward. I feel like you're either at a point where if you're stagnating, this isn't it. It needs to be kind of like in the expansion mode, because we had the world, remember? So you need to be moving on, moving up, or moving out. And it's decision time, okay? Now looking at right here, right now, we have the Ten of Wands, but the Ten of Wands is reversed. Pressure. Under pressure, like now I have the Queen song with David Bowie. Are you doing something just because you're under pressure, just because someone's expecting something of you? That's not the best reason. Are you feeling overwhelmed, like I can't handle anymore without some assistance? Then speak up, ask for help. Are you just exhausted? That's okay too. It feels like there's a need to pull back a little bit and receive some help. This is a beautiful version of the Ten of Wands because she's connecting with what looks like an ox, and the two of them are partnering to get down the hill, to allow this to be something that is joint, that is shared, that is even, that is manageable. And that brings us to the energy for the future. Compromise, give and take, and meeting in the middle, and making sure that it all evens out in the end. It's not always going to be perfectly even, but the Six of Pentacles, whether upright or reversed, is about making sure that over time things are balancing out. You don't have to say yes all the time, you don't have to say no all the time, but sometimes you do have to negotiate for what it is that you want or need. Okay, quickly looking at the messes in love, we'll start off with those that are currently partnered. And let's see specifically for you what the mess is. This darned Four of Pentacles, it keeps coming through. It's a different card in relationships. So for those that are partnered, it's a partner that is afraid to let you in because she's holding that purse right over her heart. If I let you in, you'll truly see me, or I might get hurt, or it's fear. So what we want to do in partnerships is to create safety and create a safe space so someone can truly be themselves. They can truly reveal who they are. So let them know that it's safe. Let down the sort of like whatever judgment might be there, etc. It's going to be okay. All right. Not holding back as well, like either sides. We just need more transparency. Okay. Let's move on to if you're looking for love. What's the mess? I mean, it's not so much a mess. It's just an opportunity. Well, so for some of you, you might just be traveling. You might be like me, someone who just landed somewhere and the dust is settling. Or you're thinking, I need or I want more than what's in front of me because we're single and looking is sort of like looking beyond this. I would say what you're looking for is bigger than you think it will be. So if you think, oh, I just want to date someone, or I just want this, or what, it feels like there's a total upgrade coming through here, but it requires you to look beyond the expectations. And it might be a few things in tandem. So there might be a couple of changes, some health changes, some career changes, some love. Like it's all wrapped together. When it rains, it pours, but sometimes it's a really good sort of storm. That's what the world is. So be prepared for more than you imagine. And the person that you might be pulling in is from a completely different group of people or energy than you have in your life right now. Could be a different country. Okay. Single and happy. Good for you. Let's see what we've got here. Four of Cups. I mean, it's so funny. Four of Cups and Four of Pentacles are very, very similar energies. But with the Four of Cups, since we're not focusing on others so much, it's interesting because that's kind of what the Four of Cups is. The grass is always greener when you look at someone else and their accomplishments. But what do we have here? A pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and this little ace giving her the hidden fourth cup. I actually love the way this is illustrated. Typically, it's floating in front of the person. Here it's right beside her, but she's got blinders on. So there's something different, something better, something else than you thought. The timing, the direction, the person, it requires a leap of faith. Don't be afraid to take the leap of faith. The messiness is the comparison. The solution is to stop comparing and start looking around. There's something ripe for the picking, but it requires you to be sitting in an energy of gratitude and openness, and then it will happen. Okay? All right. We are going to make the goal. I'm just going to speak affirmatively, and I think we probably already did. I set it too high today instead of all stickers. I think I did teal and up or something. So I know we made it. So we're going to go into... Well, actually, before we do that, I want to look at one last message here. So mess and upgrade. So looking at the entirety of this reading, is there one big mess and one big upgrade that Spirit wants us to focus on before I go into the whatever needs to come through portion? Okay? Big mess, big upgrade. Okay, so we'll start off with the big mess. All right, so the biggest mess that I'm seeing for all of you right now is around the fixation on, am I successful? Do I measure up? Is this going to be okay? Success is subjective. It's something that other people sometimes ascribe and project in front of us. And Spirit's inviting you to recalibrate and redefine success. I think success can be beyond money, acclaim, or popularity. It can be fulfillment. If you feel happy at the end of the day and like you made a difference, that's success. If you're healthy, that's success. If you're happy, if there are people around you that enjoy your company, that laugh, that want to spend more time with you, that's success. It doesn't have to be the old things. So kind of having a bigger version of success will help you clean up that mess. All right, and the big opportunity here, the upgrade. With the Five of Cups, could've, would've, should've. We can't live in that energy of the past. The two cups behind this gentleman basically can be love, opportunity, joy. And what's required here is to think to yourself, my story isn't done yet. I choose a different ending. I've mentioned that for those of us that grew up maybe reading books, I think these were in the 80s and 90s, definitely in the 80s. There was a type of book called Choose Your Own Adventure. And so in a Choose Your Own Adventure, you would read, everyone would start in the same place, but maybe 2 or 3 chapters in, there would be an option where you could go one direction or another, and you would turn the page to that decision. And every decision after that became a series of adventures. And that's life, actually. But what's cool about these books is you could go back and then say, well, what if I did the other track? And you could see all of the different adventures or misadventures in front of you. So I'd like you to imagine that wherever you're at, this was just one path. You can backtrack, you can go in a different direction. Your adventure is not done yet. It just requires you to imagine something different, something beyond. I pulled a few cards here as I was talking, because we have a lot of cards of calibration and attention. Okay, so this is the Rider-Waite-Smith Five of Cups. That's him mourning. This is a card of mourning, and also like observing what was. Meanwhile, what is about to happen is right there. So it's already in your energy. It may not be in your field of view, but as a psychic, it's in your energy. The person, the success, the love, it's there. I can see it, I can taste it, I can feel it. But you're looking somewhere else, so you can't yet. But if you start to think it's here, you will. And 2 of the big blocks that kept coming through are these 2 cards. Holding on to something that isn't enough, the Four of Pentacles, and again with the fixation on coulda, woulda, shoulda with the Four of Cups. By the time this card comes, he's almost ready to let it go. And guess what? Now there's another cup. Spirit's really intent on giving you the upgrade. Now let's just look at these 2. So in the Four of Cups, Spirit is like, hey, over here. And then in this one, it's like, seriously, over here. And you keep focusing on these 3 cups, which are now done. So Spirit also, okay, in this one, they're there distracting you. Spirit pushed them over. You got the rejection, and now it's like, no, this, not this, this. You're supposed to be focusing on something else. And it's been incrementally upgrading in your energy, but you have to reach out for it. You have to see it. I think that's the big takeaway today, because I kept seeing those damn cards, pardon my French, the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups, and they're telling a story. Let it go. Focus on this, not this, this. Okay? Okay. Woo! I've worked up heat because there's a lot going on in this. Also, it's really warm in where I'm at right now. So, okay, let me see what the temperature outside is. It's like, yeah, it's in the upper 30s. Okay, so let's go ahead now and focus on the bonus portion for today. So let me take a quick look at the other topics and see if there was a close runner-up before I move forward. So the closest runner-up was, oh, find your superpower. That's a good one. We did a better one today. I actually think this was a better one. All right, so a couple of things. Let me just open up another window here because I had a poll going, so I just want to see where we're at on the poll. And then we'll go into the next piece here. So I'm going to find the superpower. So we're going to look at your superpower, and let me just go ahead and pull another window up while I'm doing that. So I'll shuffle the cards. What's your hidden gift or skill right now? Oh, okay, it's leadership or getting past this sort of Five of Wands energy. But let me go ahead here really quickly and just pull up today's reading. I want to see what all of you are struggling with too, because for some reason that poll is hidden from me. Maybe it went away when I did the live stream. So give me 1 second here. And no, here it is. Oh, it's finances, work, and money. Okay, so I'll look at that in a second. But I want to focus on this one first. So your superpower, the Five of Wands. I like this Five of Wands because it reminds me of the ability to make a breakthrough if you can all work together. It's the antithesis of the usual Five of Wands. So typically we have 5 people working against each other, but in this one, they're putting their magic together, creating something amazing. Back to the whole ripple effect that I was talking about. If you can get people and bring them from conflict to cooperation, that's your superpower. Help them see the common goal, common interest, common thread, and walk away from the differences. That's where you can actually really make an impact this week if you want to. And many of you said you're feeling blocked, specifically in money, work, and finances. So I'd like to pull a card here to help you get unblocked on that. Why are you blocked in this area of abundance? How can you get unblocked? Okay, so the block. And I have, again, the same shamanic friend that I talk about all the time. He will correct me when I say things. He's like, listen to what you just said. You said I'm having bad luck or I'm having challenges here. You're speaking into existence a block. So you may be doing it unconsciously or subconsciously. Stop, align yourself, and think what it is. Even when I did the poll, if you feel blocked, think to yourself, I'm ready to release the block. I'm releasing the block. The block is released. We need to recalibrate the view of this because the High Priestess can generate, the needle can go either direction. It can stay blocked or it can become unblocked. So that's really just the decision. It's done now. You're saying it with me in this group of fellow intuitives and esoteric people. I choose a different path. I'm not blocked anymore because the block doesn't serve it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. I've learned from that block and I release it. I'm going to take the reins and move in a new direction. So this is getting back to work, moving in a new direction. You can also fight for what's wrong. Like if something's wrong, High Priestess, you see through the manipulation, okay? So one of the messes can be someone trying to convince you that something is right when it's wrong. And you're like, I don't think so. And I'm gonna fight to make sure that this doesn't happen. You are just as persuasive and as perceptive as that person. You can see it. So you'll have to maybe fight a little bit to make sure that they don't try to get away with this. So you're changing your thoughts. You're becoming a little bit more positive that the block is gone. And you're also calling people out if they're trying to do something that's a little tricky. As I'm talking, I feel like someone has taken a knife in my solar plexus and moved it around. So now I know what the next thing is, which is, how can we reclaim power? Because I was hitting on that, and the energies out there that don't want that to happen, I can feel the tension there. So how can you reclaim your power if someone around you is trying to sort of like usurp it? Exactly what I would expect to come through for that. Why is this coming through? And what do you do? Okay. It's around communication. So, Seven of Swords can be deception, someone acting a fool, someone showing their true colors, saying they're one thing but doing another. You see it. You're the perceptive High Priestess. Why is it happening? No one's really called them out on this before. we can sometimes just look at the blindfolds in the Eight of Swords or Two of Swords as just that, ignoring things. So let's say you step into a situation. If I think back to like one of my most challenging jobs, it was a place where they looked for a role for almost a year and no one had been in it. And I came in and I had to clean up the mess that was created by people managing themselves for that amount of time. And it was a mess. And I should have known going into it, like if they didn't have the vision to get someone for a year, it was going to take me probably the better part of a year or two to clean it up. So sometimes things have gone without proper care. So sometimes people ignore behavior and no one gets corrected. And so you're the one coming through saying, no, that's not okay because of this, this, and this. And this is how we're going to fix it. You're putting a solution out there, but it's not always easy. And what's required here is speaking up. The Page of Swords in reverse is direct, sometimes sharp. No, we said this. I hear what you're saying, but this is how it's going to be done. And it can be firm. It does not have to be, you don't have to raise your voice. You just have to articulate, clarify, and lay out what it is that needs to be done in a way that probably hasn't been articulated before. Course correction, articulation, and if you need help, like if there's a legal issue or something, obviously you're going to work with someone. But that's what I see is something that has been ignored for too long, and it isn't right, but you're saying it isn't right. And sometimes one voice, we talked about the ripple, can create a ripple of positivity with respect to that. So you're one of many ripples that is creating this bigger positive movement. Someone has to sometimes say no, or sort of like be, the logical one here. All right. Let's now see what wants to come through next. I'm just going to do a little bit of mediumship like I was because I pulled that just out of like feeling it. So let me see if there's anything else that's coming through with mediumship. Okay, so the other thing that Spirit's showing me is like a needle dropping, like on a needle drop moment. So this can be, it's like someone launching something is how I'm interpreting this. So if you're ready to launch something or put it out there for consumption, show me what needs to be seen here. So this is for artists, business people, or anybody that's looking to launch or announce. Okay, the timing is good. We have the Six of Wands. Okay, and you're like very, very close to completion. Okay, but there's this desire to hold on to it. So here's the good news. If you're thinking of launching something, I like what I see here. The important thing for you as you're looking at your launch window and just launch in general is having a little conversation with Spirit and feeling like you're working on the best thing ever. Really loving the creative flow and process. Don't shortchange this final leg of the journey. I feel like you need another week or another month to sort it out. So like just give it a little more time to cook. And then I feel like it'll be perfect. But there's just a little bit left to be done. So yes, soon, but not yet. And if you've already pushed send, then there might also be room for like a second version of it. So I love music. So it could be like a deluxe version that comes out, or like certain authors that write books will release a bonus chapter or something. It feels like there's a little bit more. So if you don't have to release it, put it in there. Or if you have only so much that you can put out there, figure out how to, there's room for more. I just see like dessert or more coming. So don't limit how much appetite there might be for what it is that you're working on. And I was shown a needle dropping, so some of you might be working on music. So it feels good. All right, let's see what else is coming through. All right, now I'm just going to ask Spirit whatever needs to come through right now. Okay, so we have the Strength card. I'm really focusing on the heart on this one. Making sure in this moment that you're getting ample physical activity, cardiovascular activity. Some of you might be mending a broken heart, getting over heartbreak, difficult emotional sort of issues in your life right now. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. And then just general heart health as well. The Strength card also has to do with people that are controlling in our lives, oftentimes a parent or a boss. I felt that energy earlier. It's dissipating now since I spoke up. But something about that control connection that I was picking up on seemed like it lacked integrity. So they may try to make it out to be all about you, but it takes two to tango, and I'm seeing more than meets the eye on this one. So push back, hold them accountable. It's going to be okay. So much energy around sensitivity today and making sure that you're getting what you need. So don't feel bad about speaking up and saying, I want this or I don't want this. Or if something hurts you, letting people know that that kind of behavior isn't acceptable in the long run. Okay? Meditation is absolutely something you should make time for. We see someone here working with a singing bowl, meditating, taking care of himself, and he's risen above the water beneath him, so the emotions aren't controlling him, they're influencing, but they're not he's not beholden to them. So give yourself time for a meditation that can really help with the detox, okay? And then it's never too late. 8 of Cups in reverse. You can go back and finish something if you've missed a window or you want a second chance. This is definitely a card connected with that. It's a good time to make and break cycles. If there's something that you don't want to do anymore, you don't have to. This is your chance to basically set things in the right direction, okay? All right, so thank you to everyone that helped us unlock that bonus portion. I appreciate it. Cool things usually come through when I'm not fixated on just one topic. And today we actually got a little bit of mediumship too. Okay, let's take a moment now to meditate, speaking of that, and then we can do one final question at the end, anything that you're thinking about. Close your eyes if you will, I appreciate that. Imagine yourself in, gosh, for some reason I'm seeing snow. Okay. I kind of see this winter scene, but you can imagine yourself, make a choice. It can either be the beach or like this snowy scene. But what I see in either scene is just this beautiful connection with the sun rising. And the colors on the sun are gorgeous. It's like purple and rose and yellow. It's like the early morning colors where it's not just gold. It's these other hues. Definitely the pinks coming through. And to me, that is also about love and being gentle with yourself. Allow those more sort of gentle colors to connect with your auric field. Purples and pinks and bright, bright oranges. Allow those to seep into your auric field, bringing power, bringing love, bringing a connection to the divine. And just sit in this energy for a moment and know that you are deserving of love, happiness, and opportunity. Spirit only needs to hear that you're ready to receive. Imagine, if you will, that you are holding that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Think to yourself, I'm ready, I'm worthy, and I'm willing of all of this or more, all of this or greater. And allow that big pot of gold to be connected to your heart. As the week unfolds, keep receiving, keep believing, keep connecting with that abundance that we just saw in our mind's eye. Sit there for a moment or two in the bliss of this energy. Take a breath or two more, and on the next natural exhale, I'd like you to think of a final question. As you think of that question, excuse me, I'm going to shuffle the cards and see what's coming through. All right, so don't rush. We have Temperance coming through, and it's in the upright position. You are protected, you are guided, but you're also encouraged in this moment to take your time. I want to pull the traditional Temperance card too while we're talking. Temperance is Spirit coming through saying, quiet your thoughts, quiet your actions, and just be present. Spirit speaks in a gentle nature, a whisper often. And really good intuitives will let you know that sometimes it's just a subtle feeling or vision. So I saw like the little tantrum, or I felt that little pain. It doesn't have to always be bombastic. If you're just tuned in, you'll pick up on the subtle energy. And that's the key to success this week, is to tune into the subtle energy. How do I feel? What do I think? What's the first thing that comes through? You don't have to jump headfirst into something. If it's a yes or no question, yes, but take your time. Generally speaking, temperance is also just card value here, face value. Don't go to extremes. Slow, steady, calm, and measured. And then we have a path of opportunity that will reveal itself once you've sorted through your emotions, once you've taken the first step, once you've tuned in. And that's what Spirit wants to close with today. This was a very nice reading, folks. It's always a pleasure to read for you. Some of these are even more magical than others. This was a good topic. I do my best to try to think of new things that we haven't talked about, and I'm glad that we got to look at messes. Messes are there for a reason. Sometimes we just have to sort through it, and there can be like some hidden gems in the mess. So I'd encourage you to think of it that way this week too. Okay? Thank you so much, folks, for sticking with me today. This, like I said, this was really, really cool. Apollo's in the background. We'll check in on him really quickly. He's just like a little snug bug in a rug there. Before we get into the gratitude portion, just a couple of quick notes. If you want to connect with me, a great way to do that is through my newsletter. You can go to my website for more information about me, including all of the official links on where and how to follow me on social media. There's another way to give back there, which is through PayPal, or you can book an appointment if you'd like to. Right here on YouTube, many of you have already done it, myself included. You can give back with gifting a membership, becoming a member, or leaving a sticker with your comments, and these allow me to keep doing what I'm doing here. My core fans that show up every weekend, every Sunday, you guys are amazing. But if anyone new is watching and you want to give back, thank you as well. I'd like to give a couple of moments today just to say thanks, and I want to start with everybody. Like, if I know, like, we're all at varying levels of, where we're at in our life. So sometimes that's all you can do is show up, and that's enough. So thank you. For those that gave back a little bit more, I'd also like to say thank you to you because, again, you really do make this possible. So starting at the beginning here, I'd like to acknowledge Cheryl. Thank you for the sticker. I appreciate you. Ann Walk, always good to see you. You just celebrated your 33rd month of membership. Thank you for being with me much longer than that, but also for being a member for that amount of time. I'm really happy, Colette, that you enjoyed today's special topic. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for the sticker. Renee Smith, thank you for 43 months. That's amazing. Grateful for you too. Grateful that all of you have allowed me to make a few moves and have been with me. 43 months is a long time. Thanks for that. Anne, thank you so much again for your membership, for multiple stickers today. I'm sure there'll be more, but thank you again. Marie, thank you very much for the virtual coffee sticker. PJ Good, good to see you. Thank you for about 1.5 years of membership. That's amazing. Thank you for following up with a sticker, actually 2 stickers in a row. Thank you very much. Colette, thank you again for the membership and for multiple stickers today. KNX420, yeah, it has been a while. So good to see you. Thank you for being a longtime member and also for your sticker. Casey and Bloom, thanks for your membership and sticker. Thanks on the congrats. Like I said, I got a mini one going tomorrow, but it's easier. I'm here now. I'm just moving maybe 10 minutes away from where I'm at right now. So this should be an easy one. Jamie, thank you so much for being a member and for your sticker. PJ, I'm glad you like the hummingbirds. They are my favorite too. They remind us to sort of raise our frequency. So, and yeah, Anwalk said, and dragonflies. They also, both of those have the ability to change course quickly. And I like that too, and move with great speed. Colette, thank you again for your membership and sticker. I'm glad so many people like the hummingbirds. PJ, thanks for giving 5 memberships to new members, and welcome to all of those members. Colette, thank you for the multiple stickers and for being a member. Welcome everybody that got a membership from me. PJ, thank you again for membership and multiple stickers. Sharon, good to see you. Thanks for being a member and for your sticker. Kendra, thank you for the sticker and membership. PJ, thanks again. Kayla or Kala, I think it's Kayla. Rogers, thank you so much for your sticker and for your membership. Heather, thanks for gifting a member and for being a member. Gifting a membership and being a member, I should say. Anwalk, thank you so much for the multiple stickers today. I am Laura, 10. Get out of town. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that really, really generous gift there and for being a member for so long. Look at all those little trines on the crown. Thank you very much. Jeannie, you too, because I can see the gem on that. Thank you for many, many months and moons of membership and for the little brooms there. PJ, thank you again. Colette, thank you again. Multiple people with memberships and stickers. Kayla, thanks again. Rob, good to see you, buddy. I owe you an email. Thank you so much for showing up today and for your contribution. Paula, thank you very much for being a member for 47 months. Get out of town. That's great. QZ422, thank you very much for being a member and for the sticker. Kayla, thank you for 10 months of membership and the kind words. I do appreciate that. PJ, thanks again for the 2 extra stickers. And Yolanda, good to see you. Thank you very much for your sticker. Marianne, Taksumika, thanks for the sticker and membership. PJ, thank you again. Colette, thank you again. PJ and Anne and Georgia, thank you. Georgia, I think this is your first. Thanks for your sticker and membership. Jeannie, thank you again for the multiple stickers. MPS Lehman, thank you very much for your sticker. PJ Good, thank you again for the sticker and membership. KNX420, thanks for the sticker and membership. Multiple today, in fact. Georgia, thanks again. PJ, thanks again. Alice Singletary, thank you for the sticker and membership. And Donna, both Donna and Rob, thank you for the big stickers. I do appreciate that. That goes a long way, and I really couldn't be here without your support. All right, we did it. We got through this. Let's give Apollo a little pat on the head, and we'll wrap up for today. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Have you been a good puppy? I know you have. All right, guys. Wishing you so much love and light. Have an not the catalyst card. Wishing you so much love and light. Thank you again for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Take care of yourselves. I'll be rolling out the remaining monthlies this week, and I'm just doing them like from this date to the next date so that you get a full month. I feel like this is a good workaround, and then I'll probably just fast forward us another month and then start doing them all on time. Because like I said, at least I know I'll be settled for 3 months, and then I might extend that lease. I'm just trying to take it nice and slow. All right, guys, until I see you again, wishing you all the best.